Recession. That's the word that seems to be dominating global economic conversations at the moment. In the second week of February, two of the world's biggest economies, Japan and the United Kingdom, they've slipped into recession. But what if I tell you that this could be just the tip of an iceberg? That more and more countries can and most likely will slip into recession this year. And what if I tell you that no country could be safe, not even India? Well, let's begin by defining a technical recession first. A technical recession happens when the GDP of a country contracts for 2 consecutive quarters. And this is exactly what has happened with Japan and the United Kingdom so far. GDP is the total value of the goods and the services that are produced in an economy. A GDP contracts, or in simpler words, GDP shrinks when the country produces and earns less than what it has done before. In the United Kingdom, GDP has contracted by 0.3% in the October to December quarter and by 0.1% between the July and September quarter. Similarly, for Japan, the economy contracted by 0.4% in the last quarter and 2.9% in the one before that. But these two countries are actually not alone. Ireland and Finland also went into technical recessions in the fourth quarter, that is the October to December quarter as well. Now, Ireland had a GDP contraction of 0.7% in and 1.9% in Q3 and Q4 respectively. Now, Finland's GDP also shrank by 0.4% and 0.9% in the same period, that's the October to December period as well. Now, the fourth quarter GDP numbers of several countries are not yet out. The countries release GDP numbers in different quarters of the year. And while we do not know what will be or what will happen to these numbers when they release, what we do know is that at least 14 countries did witness a shrinking GDP during the July to September quarter. Now, there are 10 countries that we are talking about: Denmark, Luxembourg, Moldova, Estonia, Ecuador, Bahrain, Iceland, South Africa, Canada and New Zealand. Now, these are at the risk of slipping into recession. 6 of the countries that did release their fourth quarter data have actually seen a GDP contraction for the very first time. And these countries were Malaysia, Thailand, Romania, Lithuania, Germany and Colombia. Now, Germany had a contraction of 0.3%. Being the biggest economy in the Eurozone, it can actually bring down the growth of the entire region with itself. And this is when the Eurozone themselves have actually reported a stagnation at 0% in Q4. All the countries today are dependent on each other for trade. And India is no different. 6 of the major countries that are facing recession risks account for over 10% of India's total trade. Now, if you see the chart here, India trades with the UK and the trade value is somewhere to the tune of $11.4 billion, which is about 2.5% of our total export. But the good news is that India's GDP has actually been performing relatively much better. In fact, we also hold the fastest major growing economy tag even now. However, if external factors do continue the way they are, they can actually hurt India's economy as well.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.